In this video I want to discuss the Oceanic 29-gallon Biocube. This system's been up and running for about 9 months, and as you can see I've gotten tremendous growth out of it. There's been a few mods here and there, but really what this channel is going to be designed to be is for people who are starting to get into the reef hobby, wanting to keep saltwater fish and corals and all that stuff, and what you really need to focus on. There's a lot of stuff out there. I personally think that there's a lot of gimmicks and gizmos out there that you can just waste money on. So this system that you see here has been completely done except for the lighting for under about $400. You start with small corals, let them propagate in your tank, make sure you have good water quality, good filtration, good flow, and everything's going to grow really nice and quickly. One thing that I do highly recommend for these Biocubes is upgrading the lighting immediately. Even if you want to keep soft corals like Xenia or green star polyps, something that are really easy to begin with and that don't require a lot of care and maintenance and can grow under low light, I really don't recommend it. The lighting that comes with the Biocube is not good enough to grow really any type of coral efficiently. They're going to grow and live, but it's not going to be substantial, and you're going to really see some bad coloration out of the corals, and they're just not going to grow as fast. So really the first thing, if you do, please upgrade your lighting, whether it be a halide, or I personally have an LED. We'll show that in another episode, but that's probably the number one thing that you can do to help your tank out. As you can see, I've got some great corals in here. My frog spawn is obviously a showpiece coral. It started out with 2 heads. It's about 16 heads now in about 9 months. So definitely lighting plays a huge factor in that. But again, you can get a frog spawn coral, on your local forums on, Don't Break the Chain, or even, people wanting to give them away or sell them for $10 a head. That's even that you could probably get them for a little bit cheaper. But, that's what I did. I think I paid like $20-25 for 2 heads at the time. And it was a nice coloration, so I went ahead and did that. But I just let it sit in my tank and got some moderate flow and great lighting, and it really started to take off, and as you can see, it's a massive piece right now. I really like LPS corals, large polyp stonies. Those corals are the frog spawn, the hammer coral, the Galexia coral you see over there on the left. Those corals I really like. They move, they look good. I do have one stony coral, that bird's nest right there in the middle, but my favorite corals are by far the LPS corals. I think they look good in the Reef aquarium, and with this lighting, it's pretty good. Also, with a Biocube, you're only running on around 29 gallons, maybe a little bit less. So your water parameters can change really quickly. Your salinity, your pH. So it's harder to keep, if you don't pay attention to it, it's harder to keep corals because the water can fluctuate and it can prevent growth. So and really a stony coral is going to need some calcium dosing, and other SPS corals need really strong flow, strong light, and preferably a bigger system. So with the Biocubes, the LPS and softies are really the best way to go. If you do want to go ahead and really keep an eye on your water levels, have great flow and great light, by all means go ahead and start growing some SPS corals. I really only have 2 fish in here. Just those 2 true perks. With a Biocube, again, with a smaller system, it's easier for nitrates and that kind of stuff to build up. So, with more fish, you're going to have a bigger bio load, and it's just going to be hard for that system to process it. So, and really, most fish are going to require a lot more room. Unless you want to do, some blennies and stuff like that, you really need a bigger system. So, the 2 clownfish are perfect in this tank. But anything more than that, maybe pushing it bioload wise, and plus they're going to grow and they're going to need more space. So I'd recommend, if you're going to do fish in here, just have a couple clownfish, maybe a blenny, and that's about it. As far as the filtration goes, I have an intake media basket and fuge. We'll go ahead and discuss that in a later episode later this week, but that really helps get the flow. I run ChemiPure and Purigen, and that really takes out all the bad stuff in the tank, as well as doing a 10% water change weekly. I know some people do 20%, and that's fine, but with the ChemiPure and Purigen, I think 3 gallons a week is plenty for me. And as you can see, my water is crystal clear. I haven't had a problem with it. So that's what I recommend. And like I said in the beginning of the video, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can waste money on, and it's really not necessary for your tank. If you can just spend 5-10 minutes a day max maintaining your tank, you're gonna have no problem getting a tank that looks like this. It's just a little bit paying attention to detail and making sure everything's right, and you're gonna have no problem with coral growth and the longevity of your livestock in the tank. So for now, this is Nick signing off, and stay tuned for the other videos to discuss more aspects of the Biocube, especially if you're looking to start it out, what you can do to save money and have a tank that looks great. Thanks for watching.